Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, gas prices are predicted to go down after hitting record highs this weekend. And we'll tell you which San Diego beaches are getting a facelift.
Plus, our investigative news team uncovers the source of contribution cash and why out-of-towners spend money on local candidates and propositions. And former Secretary of State and Californian Condoleezza Rice shares her philosophy on foreign and domestic policy in a one-on-one interview with our partners at KQED. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Anderson in for Dwayne Brown. The Labor Day holiday weekend was expensive for drivers. The average for a gallon of gas is $4.13 in San Diego, $4.15 a gallon in California. That's according to GasBuddy.com. In California, analysts blame Chevron Corporation's refinery fire as the main reason the state saw a second straight year of high average gas prices for the last summer holiday. Gulf Coast oil platforms that shut down for Hurricane Isaac last week are starting to resume production. San Diego lifeguards are having a busy holiday weekend as summer winds down. An estimated 600,000 people decided to spend some time at the beach this past weekend, and it didn't turn out to be fun for everyone. San Diego lifeguard Andy Laram says there was unusually high surf during the weekend.
The generated surf from the swell has caused lifeguards to be very busy on Saturday and Sunday. We've totaled about 350 rescues for both days so far. The surf is on its way out. However, the rip currents are still very strong. There's still enough surge coming through to activate those rip currents.
Laram says the rough surf does have a benefit. It usually keeps stingrays from congregating near the shore. Laram says Labor Day is one of the three busiest weekends at the beach each year. The others, the 4th of July and Memorial Day. The San Diego School District is being flooded with requests from undocumented immigrants asking for records that prove they attended school in the county. The district is asking people to go to the Ballard Parent Center in Old Town if they need that documentation. Undocumented immigrants brought here as children can apply for a 2-year reprieve from any deportation action, and they can also get a work permit for that time. It's part of President Barack Obama's deferred action policy. As many as 20,000 immigrants in San Diego County may be eligible for the program. The district has been getting 50 to 100 requests a day for those school records. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice gave a passionate speech at the Republican National Convention last week. Our partners at KQED sat down with the Californian to talk about her philosophy on foreign and domestic policy.
You know, in your speech, you said the question of the hour is, where does America stand? And in a recent op-ed piece, you questioned whether re-engagement with Baghdad was something that the country should be concentrating on. Yes. Do you think that troops should be sent back into Iraq?
Oh, I absolutely do not think we need to send troops back to Iraq. We have done our job in Iraq in the military sense, but I really mean engagement diplomatically, engagement through the economy, engagement with the people of Iraq, because Iraq has very troublesome neighbors. And so a successful Iraq has the potential to change the face of the Middle East. And so our engagement should be deep, but it should be political, diplomatic, social, economic.
How do you think the rise of China will or does have an effect on the economic health, say, of California?
Well, certainly the rise of China as an economic power is one of the major stories of the late 20th and early 21st century. I was in China in 1988 in Beijing, and the streets of Beijing were a competition between a few horse carts, a few automobiles, and a lot of bicycles. That's not the China of today. It's been an economic miracle. But China, it can be an economic miracle that is good for the international economy. We should be able to have the Chinese have freer trade so that we can get our exports into China. We need robust Chinese economic growth to help fuel the international economy. But we also need China to play by the rules, and that's the hard part. But a free and fair relationship with China certainly benefits the American economy.
China's moving vigorously across the world,
yes.
signing agreements with nations in Africa yes. and South America. What do you make of all of that?
Well, the Chinese are doing really what we should be doing, which is that they are pressing very hard to find free trading partners across the world. That's how you build the environment for your own exports and stimulating your own economy. So we need a much more robust trade agenda rather than criticizing the Chinese for taking advantages of the possibilities of free trade.
The question of immigration is a high one throughout this, and has been throughout this whole election season. You didn't receive an awful lot of applause when you made your comment about a humane immigration policy. What do you advocate, and do you think that the party is in line with your thoughts?
Well, we really do have to have comprehensive immigration reform. And we have to have it for three great important reasons. Number one, we do need to secure our borders. And that is something that I think everybody agrees on. Secondly, we all know that this is an economic benefit. Immigration brings people who need to make $5, not 50 cents, and agriculture is dependent on those people. We also know that at the so-called high end, in places like Silicon Valley, across the Bay in Berkeley, we know that people are coming here as engineers and scientists, and they're helping to fuel that knowledge-based revolution that indeed California is leading. And so we need the economic benefits of immigration, but more than anything, we are a nation of immigrants. And after the election, I hope that as a country, the President and the Congress together will undertake immigration reform, because it's something that we have to do at the federal level. The states really can't have their own immigration policies.
You were quite emotional when you spoke about education. You said that the failure of educating minority and poor students from K to 12 was threatening the very fabric of our society, and you called it a civil rights issue.
Absolutely. It is a civil rights issue, because you cannot take advantage of the benefits of being American, whether you came here from another place or were born here, if you do not have a quality education. And I think it's especially a civil rights issue for the poorest kids who are trapped in the worst schools. The truth is, people opt out of bad schools if they have the means. They send their kids to private schools, or maybe they go to a district where the schools are good. And the people who are trapped there are the poorest. That is the height of inequality.
We're at a time now in a season, particularly in the state here, Florida, and other key swing states where voting rights are being challenged. What's your feeling? What's your reaction?
Well, I understand that people want to make sure that there's no voter fraud. I understand that. I also understand the argument that there ought to be some way of proving that you are a voter and that you, through an ID of some kind. Let's give people time to do that. Let's make it easy to get identification. I don't like very much the argument that somehow minorities can't get an ID. That seems to infantilize, to me, frankly, minorities. We can do this. But people have to be given time. We have to find a way to make it easy. The states are reacting because the federal government has not. And we do need to solve this problem, but let's give people time, and let's do it in a way that doesn't make it difficult for people to exercise their franchise.
Finally, the question of women in the party.
Yes.
And their role in
Yes.
the party.
Yes.
And the reputation the party has built over some remarks made here and there that there's a war against women going on.
Yes, there's no war against women. This is hyperbole of the worst sort. We shouldn't caricature each other in this way. There are people who have strong beliefs about issues of abortion, about life, about choice, strong issues. Let's respect each other. This is a party that has a lot of powerful and strong women within it, and many of them who have views that may be different than my own. But we respect each other. I feel welcome in this party, and I think it's time to stop this caricature and hyperbole.
Dr. Rice, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Meanwhile, 38 San Diego Democrats are in Charlotte, North Carolina today. The Democratic National Convention begins there tomorrow. Convention chair and Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa will gavel in to officially begin the convention proceedings. First Lady Michelle Obama will be speaking tomorrow morning at 10:35 Eastern Time. All politics may be local, but political contributions are certainly not. That's what our investigations desk determined in their latest installment of Follow the Money. Joanne Farian has more on who's contributing to the San Diego mayor's race.
Newport Beach may seem like an odd stop on a City of San Diego campaign trail, but Councilmember Carl DeMaio made the detour recently for a fundraiser. Just where is all the campaign cash coming from, and why would out-of-towners want to support our local candidates and propositions? iNews Source reporter Kevin Crow and UC San Diego political scientist Thad Kauser join me now. Thank you both for being here. Kevin, I want to start off with big picture. Now, you looked at campaign contributions since January of 2011 up until the primary. Let's look at the two candidates for mayor that are still in the running. How much did they raise?
Well, Councilman Carl DeMaio is way ahead in terms of fundraising. So he's raised about $1.8 million. Now, a lot of that is his own money, about $670,000 out of his own pocket, plus another $100,000 he's loaned himself. And Bob Fillner's hanging at about $500,000.
Now, you also mapped out these contributions. I want to tell people at home where they can look at this map. It's at kpbs.org/campaign finance. We're going to look at it now. And so what we see now, looking at this, the red dots are basically these clusters of where a lot of the money was coming from. And what we can notice really is we've got a lot, obviously, in San Diego County, but there are also clusters up as you move up the coast in the middle of the state. So tell us about that.
Right. So these donations, these are based on zip codes that people listed on their donation forms. So you can see some in Orange County, you can see some in Los Angeles, you can see some for Carl DeMaio as far north as San Francisco and Sacramento. But his donor base really is in the city of San Diego. And when you go online, you'll be able to hover over these dots and you'll be able to see a zip code. For example, right now I'm hovered over the 92037 zip code in La Jolla. They've given about $111,000 to Carl DeMaio.
Now, Thad, when you look at this map and you look at contributions geographically, what does it tell you?
Well, this tells us that that's where the money is, right? When candidates campaign, they go where the votes are. When they raise money, they go where the money is. And for years and years, the biggest zip code donating both to Republicans and Democrats has been 90210, the famous Beverly Hills zip code. That's where the rich people are. There are rich Democrats, rich Republicans, and candidates flock there, just as you saw candidates flocking to La Jolla. Mitt Romney was there, not because he's going to win California's electoral votes, because that's where the money is.
Why are people outside the city of San Diego, or even outside the county of San Diego, giving money to our candidates?
Well, I think even though we're always looking at money as something that's going to have a quid pro quo, what does this person want out of city government? I think the way most people give money in politics is sort of like when we, buy a football jersey. We're fans, and these candidates who have national reputations, certainly with Congressman Fillner, and they have fan clubs all around the country. They have people rooting for them, and they just like them.
Kevin, you talked to some of them, didn't you? Some of these fans.
Right. I talked to a guy named Al Sheehan. He lives in Sherman Oaks, which is north of Los Angeles. He gave some money to Bob Fillner. He's a huge Fillner fan for what Bob Fillner did in Congress. So he mentioned things to me like the earned income tax credit and voting for benefits for veterans, those kinds of things. And I also talked to somebody in Orange County who's big in pension reform, and he sees Carl DeMaio as really leading the charge in reforming public employee pensions in San Diego and then maybe across the state of California. So that's why he donated.
Now, you also looked at contributions to two of the propositions, Prop A and Prop B. What did you find?
Well, we found that a lot of the support for Prop B, so those committees that were pushing in favor of Proposition B, so public employee pension reform, a lot of that money was local. Some of it came from outside. So there was an outside donation from Walmart, about $45,000. Now they do business in the city, but they're based in Bentonville, Arkansas. Same thing with Allied Waste. They donated 15 grand. But for the opponents of the propositions, a lot of it came from labor unions based and labor organizations based in Sacramento and Washington, D.C.
Now, Thad, how unusual is it for a company not based in the city to contribute money, say, to Prop Bs, a company like Walmart?
It's not unusual at all, because no matter where your headquarters are, if you're doing business in the city of San Diego, you have a stake in everything that happens in San Diego government. You know, pensions reverberate down to what the city tax levels are going to be, whether the city's going to be in deficit, and most businesses have a stake in having their city well run and keeping taxes low. So why not Walmart? They have a big stake.
What about at least the illusion or the appearance that if a company like Walmart contributes money to a campaign, and we know this already, there are a lot of questions being asked in terms of the timing of their contribution. What about the appearance of that? Does the company have to worry that it looks as though they're trying to buy favor with the local government?
I think companies always have to worry about that. Anytime you do the very public act that can be discovered by enterprising journalists of making a contribution, you're going to win some friends and you're going to make some enemies. And companies that want to have a broad appeal, they don't want to pick a political side. They're sort of like Michael Jordan, right? The guy never takes a side on an issue because he wants to have that national fan base. And companies are reticent to get too involved in partisan campaigns. Initiatives a little bit different, but they often don't want to pick a side.
Okay, Kevin, remind us where people can go to take a look at this map. They can look at their own zip code, see who gave, how much was given.
You can go to kpbs.org/campaign finance.
Great. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
San Diego County beaches will get a fresh shot of sand this fall. The $28.5 million project will move offshore sand onto 6 of the county's beaches. Now, the first location to get the beach enhancement treatment is Imperial Beach.
The sand here is sort of soft naturally. It feels good on your toes.
Sanddeck's Shelby Tucker says the problem is there just isn't enough of it along the Imperial Beach shoreline. Several other communities are worried about the width of their sandy beaches too, so starting this week, sand will be sucked up from an offshore site.
The sand that we're going to bring from the Mission Beach site is going to be a little bit more brown. It's going to be a little bit coarser, and it's really going to be an ideal type of sand because it's the larger the grain size, the longer it'll stay onto the beach.
So this is the current level of sand on Imperial Beach. When the dredging is done, the level is going to be up around here, and the waves are going to move the sand in and out to eventually widen the beach.
We've just changed our environment so dramatically through dams and flood control and, just paving over things that the way sand used to come and be delivered to the beach naturally has sort of gone away. And so the way to sort of protect this resource, we feel like, is to regularly maintain these beaches by beach nourishment.
Between now and November, crews will dredge 1.4 million cubic yards of sand resting offshore and boost the sand level at 8 beach locations. It's the second time Sandegg has coordinated a major beach nourishment project. The first was 11 years ago, and that effort moved more than 2 million cubic yards of sand.
Our monitoring program from 2001 showed that the sand stayed for approximately 5 years. There's some places where it stayed longer.
This project is smaller because the city of San Diego couldn't afford to take part, but Imperial Beach, Oceanside, Carlsbad, Encinitas, and Solana Beach are taking part. 4 offshore sites will feed 8 beach locations, and that will allow those beaches to continue to feed San Diego's economy.
Tourism in San Diego is an $8 billion a year economic impact, so it's significant, and that's direct economic impact, so very significant.
Joe Tersey says beaches always score high when visitors are asked why they spend vacation dollars here.
Sand is really important. Great beaches with great waves and clean beaches and attractions that really help support tourism are really key to our destination and our future.
Boosting the beaches is a plus, but the local Surfrider chapter doesn't want the sand to wash out local surf breaks. So they're using cameras to monitor the waves at the beach nourishment sites. It's a professionally designed 2-year research study put together by Tom Cook. He wants to compare the current surf with what happens after the sand arrives.
What we don't want to see is as We nourish beaches out in front of reefs, that sand coming out onto the reef and causing the wave to just break all at once.
Cook's team will record 10 minutes of surf each day and evaluate that footage against certain criteria to measure the quality of the surf. What the researchers find in the videos will be shared with SANDAG and the California Coastal Commission. Both of those organizations welcome the results of the study. That gives the local Surfrider chapter reason to be optimistic about this project and those that come down the road.
What we're really hoping for is that this type of monitoring would be required of all large projects like this in the future, whether it's restoration of some sort along the coast or other beach nourishment projects, that the planners start looking at and planning and protecting the surfing resources as well as the biological impacts and so forth.
The beach nourishment begins this week in Imperial Beach. The other sites will get sand in October and November. Some of the best sand sculptors in the world were in San Diego this weekend for the U.S. Sandcastle Sculpting Challenge. The event, which replaced the annual sandcastle competition in Imperial Beach, wrapped up a 4-day run on the downtown waterfront. Sculptors competed for $20,000 in prize money. Teams from as far away as Europe took part. Bill Pavlaka, the Sandcastle man, is from San Diego, and he said this competition was different from past years in Imperial Beach because of the consistency of the sand.
Well, this is the National Parks exhibit that I built. It's Utah Mountains. I'm actually done, but just adding a few pieces so that people can see what how I make it. It took 15 hours. We had a day and a half to build it, and I had a partner who helped me build it, Roy Erlinson. I was trying to win, and I got first prize for the California Cool Carving contest.
Today is the last day of San Diego's Festival of Sail. More than a dozen tall ships from around the world have been in the downtown harbor since Friday. Some are docked for tours, others are giving pirate ship cruises and reenacting cannon battles. Scripps Ranch resident Brenda Matthews encourages everyone to join in the fun. She says that she's just seeing this come out.
I just think seeing this many people come out on the same day and seeing all these wonderful boats that are here all year long, but this is the opportunity for people to really get on them and see what they're all about. So I encourage people to do this. This is a fun day in San Diego.
Grossmont College's Hyde Art Gallery is currently presenting Into Abstraction. It's an exhibit of abstract works by 7 local artists. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando checked in with one artist as she was installing her piece.
My name is Doris Vitar. I'm here at the Hyde Gallery at Grossmont College. I'm part of a group exhibit called Into Abstraction, and I was invited to show my piece, Tarab Soundings 4. This is the 4th time I've done it. It changes every time I do it.
Tarab Soundings is an interactive installation piece involving a dulcimer, a new 87-stringed instrument designed by Vitar. It's played by moving a gliding panel with a plectra that plucks the strings of 3 hexagons, each tuned to a different culture: Aztec, Chinese, and Arab.
The purpose is really to create a space where we can discuss things of cultural relevance and importance, also a way to engage students. There are a number of art students here in different disciplines, and this is an opportunity for them to kind of see what's going on in the field and educate them about what they might want to do.
Right now I'm doing something a little different, and then I'm letting the pattern go, way above and way below. It's kind of spilling out onto the floor. It's something I haven't done when it was shown at the California Center for the Arts, and this was in Berlin last summer and then Stuttgart in the fall. The inside of the sliding decorative panel, which is a pattern from Damascus, but it's also been seen in India and China and Japan. Anyway, there's a plectra right here. So we're going to try it now to see if it can strike the instrument. It might miss it altogether. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Got it? Yeah. It's just missing. It's a piece that combines or mashes up the dominant cultures of our country or Southern California, the Aztec, Mexican cultures, the Asian or Chinese, and the Arabic or Indo-European cultures. And it's a music and pattern-making piece.
To me, I think one of the interesting connections between Doris's work and the others, abstract painting tends to look inwardly. The difference between Doris, which is really interesting to me, is that it's actually kind of an outward process, especially the fact that she's using music, something that's very universal.
The other part of this is the sliding panel, which not only plays the instrument, but also creates patterns. When it is moved just a little bit and the two patterns overlap, you get different patterns. You know, just the littlest movement makes it could look like cubist, you know, Bauhaus, lace, and it's interactive, so people can play with it and reference various cultures that are represented in California.
That was put together by KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando. Into Abstraction continues through September 13th at the Hyde Art Gallery on the Grossmont College campus. For gallery hours and information, go to kpbs.org. And you can watch the Democratic National Convention here on KPBS starting tomorrow night at 5. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition on kpbs.org. We'll see you here on KPBS Evening Edition Friday at 6:30.